Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be sewing McCall's style L9580. This is a poncho and I will be doing view B, which is the model. The pattern pieces that you will need for view B are 6, 7, and number 8. Now, if you have already purchased fringes that are already made, then you do not need to cut out pattern piece number 8. Alrighty, let's get to it. Pattern piece number 7 should be cut out on the fold, and you only need one. Note that you can also lengthen or shorten the bottom of pattern piece number 7. For pattern piece number 6, you need 2 pieces. This is not on the fold, so you need 2 individual pieces. So for piece number 8, you will need to cut out 2 pieces and make sure it's on the fold. However, you can go the easier route and just buy you some already made fringes, and you won't even have to worry about that. So that is what I did. So I will not be cutting out piece number 8. All I have are pieces 6 and 7, and here is my number 8. So now it is time to pin the front pieces to the back at the shoulder seams with right sides together. Make sure your right sides are facing. Now go ahead and stitch the shoulders 5/8 of a seam allowance with a straight stitch, both shoulders. So now it is time to hem the entire poncho. You want to hem the front openings, the back neckline, the outer edges of the front and back, and also the bottom of the front and back. So pretty much the entire poncho is going to be hemmed. Every single raw edge that you see is going to be hemmed. Go ahead and turn it over 5/8 of a seam allowance and pin it all the way around. So when you sew, go ahead and sew a straight stitch as close as possible to the raw edge. Now that your poncho is all hemmed on all sides, it's time to attach the fringe. I would suggest that everyone go get a pre-made fringe because it's just gonna make your life 10 times easier. You are going to pin this to the wrong side of the fabric. Pin it to the bottom of your front and the bottom of your back piece. All the way around. Pin it to the bottom, not the sides.
Since that's where they usually end up anyway, it's a logical place to start.
Okay, so now it is time to attach the buttonholes. If you are anything like me, then maybe you forgot to mark the buttonhole. So make sure you find your pattern and go back and find whatever buttonhole aligns with the size that you cut out. And all you simply have to do is fold your pattern, or this is a finished shawl, so all you have to do is like fold the back in half and line up your pattern on top. So I'm not gonna mark mine. What I'm going to do is just simply stick a pin through it because I'm just going to sew the button on with some thread. So I'm gonna find the size that I cut out. Put my finger here, go through it, and that's it. So I know when I sew that's my buttonhole right there. But there are the buttonholes were supposed to be on the front and the back. So you should have four little dots where you're going to attach the button. So make sure you go back and make sure you have all 4 dots, or 4 pins in my case. So now the last step is to attach the buttons at the front markings, but you're going to sew through both layers. So you're going to sew through the front and the back. And obviously you need 2 buttons. I don't think the size of the buttons matter, just as long as you have 2 decent sized buttons. And I'm not going to use my sewing machine. I'm just going to use a single needle and attach some thread the old-fashioned way. So you're going to attach it to the right side. This is the right side, and this is the button. Well, this is the pin that I pinned on the back. So the ball is actually right here, so that means my button is going to go right here. I'll hold that down, but now you need to find the back side. Here's my back pin, so I'm going to just line it up so that I won't lose my spot. I'm going to just line the ball up right behind the button. It probably will help you guys make markings. I didn't want to take the extra step and mark on the fabric, but I will say that it helps. But you kind of like feel the button right here, and then feel the pin right here. Just slide the pin out, staying cautious of where it belongs. And right here is where I'm going to attach. Make sure when you attach, you go through both sides. And there we go. Now you should be free to let it go. Just go ahead and proceed and attach the button. Kind of like a guess because you can't really see where it is. But if you just feel, be careful not to poke yourself, but just feel for where it lets you through. So it lets me through back to side. See, my button is here. When you tighten it, it goes back tighter. And just kind of go from hole to hole, bouncing around so that you can secure all 4 sides of the little button. You can secure it as many times as you feel you need to. I don't personally think that you have to go through too many times. As soon as like you feel like your button is secure, then go ahead and make your knot and cut it off. I would suggest cutting it off on the wrong side. I think my button is pretty secure, so I'm now on the wrong side. I'm just gonna cut this so that I can make a knot. Make sure you make a good knot so that your button don't fall off. Yeah, nails and knots don't really mix. I'll do this later. Go ahead and tie your knot. Do the same thing to the other side, and then you are all finished.